Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a video today all about my exchange which I did in Copenhagen. I really wanted to do a little sum up and talk about any questions. I've had so many questions and lovely DMs asking me about my experience of my study abroad, how I got it, everything. So I thought I'd sit down with you guys and just talk you through it and how I found it and answer some of your questions. So I asked on my Instagram about a week ago anything you wanted to know. Just a little highlight, I'm in my final year of university. I went on a semester abroad, so I currently study at the University of Bath and I do a business degree, and it means that you get an option in my business degree on your final year of your 4th year to go and do a semester abroad. You can apply to Canada, like universities in Canada, the US, Australia, Singapore. There's so many amazing options, but they're all set up by the university. So for starters, I'll just set that up as in, like, I didn't have to go and apply to a random university. The connection was already made from my university to this university, so the places were there. I just had to apply for them. So for starters, it made applying super easy in that sense, because the university decided who was going to go and who wasn't going to go. You don't always get your first choice, you don't always get a place, but I think if you do well in terms of, like, throughout university your grades are good, you're more likely to be offered a place. I don't really know how they do it. However, Copenhagen was my first choice, so I was very happy. I went to CBS, which is Copenhagen Business School, and did business, but I got to select any modules really I wanted. There was a list, but I think you could even go off the list if you found something that was business relevant. You just have to get it cleared by the university. So let me have a look at some of my questions. Firstly, a lot about accommodation. So CBS, where I went to, offered student accommodation that you could apply to. This is really hard to get. I was in a place called Porcelain-Schaven. I've said that completely wrong. Basically, it's the closest accommodation to university. I'm so glad I got it, because it made getting to all my uni lectures less than 2 minutes. Like, some of my lectures were in the same building, so I literally didn't even have to leave. Some of my friends lived in private accommodation called Nido, and some people lived at Space Camp in Copenhagen, which is just a lot further away. So I would say try and get uni accommodation, or you can privately rent a flat, which I would suggest going on, like, Facebook. There's so many Facebook pages. I applied through the university. I didn't get it first time, and then they came back and said there was a space, so I accepted. I went for a medium room. You have, like, your kitchen in your room, and then you share a bathroom with someone. If you go for a large room, you get your own bathroom. I was fine with a medium room. I didn't really want a small one because I just wanted a bit more space, so I think the medium was a good compromise. So really lucky and blessed with, like, an end room. So I had, if you've seen any of my TikTok videos, like, big windows, which not every room had. So I was very lucky for all my filming and bits to have that. So yeah, I really recommend that accommodation. You don't share any kitchens. It's not the most social, but you can make friends. Like, there was a group chat and you can be more connected. However, I had friends who weren't at CBS, or friends who actually did live in the building, but I kind of met them outside living in the building and then kind of formed a friendship group. So yeah, that was my accommodation. But that leads me on to my next question, which a lot of questions are: is it easy to make friends? How did you make friends? Was it easy? Did you find it hard to adapt / make friends? Yes, at the beginning, 100% it was. I feel like there was a freshers week, which was super helpful, and you got to, like, mix. And to be honest, from that first, like, mixing, that's how I met loads of people. So if you're doing any sort of exchange and they have these freshers weeks, 100% go. Annoyingly, I got ill literally, like, straight away when I arrived, like, hit by some sort of flu, so I didn't go to, like, any of the rest of the freshers week activities. So I literally only went to, like, the first 1 or 2. So maybe that stunted my friendship making. And yeah, I was really lucky. Izzy and Rosie, 2 friends who I absolutely adore, I'm so glad I met, messaged me, well, Izzy messaged me on Instagram saying, do you want to meet? I've just moved to Copenhagen. She actually went to a different university, and I went and grabbed coffee with them within the first week, and ever since gelled like that. Other 2 girls, Summer and Eden, who were actually in my accommodation, we kind of, like, formed a 5, which was lovely. So that was so nice. But it kind of took, like, I mean, I met them within the first week, but it takes a bit of time to kind of find your feet, because at the beginning it's like when you first move to university, like, everyone's like, ooh, trying to find their feet, like, who are their friends going to be. So moved with some people from Bath, so I knew some people already and formed a really great friendship with a girl called Charlotte. So I didn't make loads and loads and loads of widespread friends. However, the friends that I did make were, like, really good. I met obviously lots of other people who I saw in lectures, which was great. But yeah, my best advice to make friends is go to the Freshers Week, and also just say yes to going to coffee, say yes to going for a drink. I didn't go out at all, I went out twice, and I stayed out for like an hour, so I don't make friends through doing that. I also did like a run club, I only went a couple of times, and then I went to another run club, which was like a local one. So you could also do that, where I met a couple of people and dragged some of my friends that I'd made along. So that's another one. Anyway, I've digressed. Long story short, it wasn't easy to make friends, but it's very possible. Everyone's in the same boat and everyone wants to make friends. Put yourself in situations where there'll be other people looking to make friends. Or after lectures and stuff, if you sit next to the same person over and over again in a lecture, grab a coffee with them afterwards. As an exchange student at CBS, did you feel integrated into the community? CBS as a whole, no. All of my lectures seemed to just be exchange students. So what was great about that is that everyone was really willing to make friends. So it wasn't like there was a small group of exchange people. Whereas like, I feel like at Bath, we've had exchange students in our classes and they've like, it's majority Bath people and there's only like 5 exchange people, whereas all of my classes were full of exchange students. There was like a couple of Danish people. So I didn't meet at all really any Danes, which was really, really crazy, and I didn't think that at all. But you just mostly all your classes are with exchange students. I'm not really sure why that is. I did meet a couple in like my social media class, but no, I wouldn't say so. But the lecturers are really lovely, and sorry, the light's changing in my room. CBS as a university is great. Oh my gosh, it's got really sunny. But no, I wouldn't say, you can join societies, but they're not very big on the society front. But I was only there for a couple of months, so I didn't really, my aim wasn't really to get integrated into the CBS community. What was my favourite thing about living in an experience? What thing did you like most about your experience living in Copenhagen? That's hard. I just loved the city. Being able to bike everywhere, everything being so close, being able to like, everywhere was like 15-20 minutes max away. We would just bike to like go grab a drink, and I loved the coffee shops and the wine bars. I need that. I'm missing that already. It's that connective, everyone's so eager to meet up, so social, people are so friendly. This is me listing off a massive things when you said what's your favourite thing, but the people are so friendly there. It's just nice. I really loved Copenhagen and Denmark, and so if you're thinking about going to Copenhagen as an exchange or living there, it was so nice and I loved it. And the summer, amazing. Everyone just goes swimming. Everyone's so chilled, like everyone's on a completely different wavelength. What do I normally spend? Oh my gosh, guys, I can't even look at my bank account. It was ridiculous. It's £6 for a coffee. So, but I didn't really hold back because I was there for so little time. I didn't, like, obviously I watched my spending in the supermarket, but it's so expensive. You go into the supermarket, it's expensive everywhere right now. But yeah, I spend a couple of grand a month, I think. 2k a month, maybe a bit more. I did do shopping though. I don't know actually, I don't really know how much I spent, but I did spend quite a bit. It's a lot, it's probably double what I'd spend in the UK. I wouldn't spend that even in the UK, to be honest. But my food shop every week was like £150. I didn't even buy that much. I don't even know why it was that much, to be honest. I also had friends come, and when friends came and stayed, you go out for dinner, and for 2 of you to go to dinner, it would be minimum £100. So we'd be going to dinners. So as soon as someone would come over for a weekend, which was basically every other weekend, I had someone visit, that was a couple £100 just on like coffees. The metro's a tenner a day. Like, yeah, you can do it cheaper, but I had a limited amount of time there and I was earning and I'd saved to go away, if that makes sense. You definitely need to save to go to Copenhagen or get a job. A lot of my friends did nannying or cleaning, which you can also do. Did I struggle to find a housing swap with people in Bath? This applies to my course in Bath because I'm away for 6 months. Weird swap out thing where you can only live in Bath for 6 months. Obviously I'm going back there now. Yeah, that's always a struggle. If you're in Bath, get in touch with your student experience officer and they really help you out. And I found mine on Spare Room, so check out Spare Room. How much did it cost with housing? Housing was £7.50 a month. I was in a medium room, like I said. It was like 500 and something, and then it was like 150 for bills included, so it came to about £7.50 a month. Yeah. I think my friend who was in the small room paid around 550, 500, and then the large room paid around £1,000. So I went for like the middle. But most housing, I would say, is between £600 and £800 a month. What's the workload at CBS like? Tips to stay on top of it. So my university, the workload wasn't that bad. But I want to say a couple of things about this because I think I gave off the impression that I was highly stressed, which I was, and like underpaid pressure. Basically, because I'm in my final year, this year counts a lot for my degree, so I kind of had to do quite well, or I had to make sure I did well, that, you know, I didn't screw up on my whole degree, which is very unusual. Usually people would never go away in their final year. If you're in your third year, sometimes, most people were on a pass or fail, so most people just wanted to pass, so it's absolutely fine. A lot of universities you do a year and you're on a pass or fail, so it's absolutely okay. So the workload is then non-existent really, because you just got to pass. I think that's like a 2 you've got to get. The grading system's a bit weird. I also had my dissertation to do on top of my 4 modules, which just basically added an extra module a week to my workload. That made it stressful. Again, only really applies if you're in my degree at university. Okay, so it really depends on the module. Some of my workload was really high, for example, fashion, retail, whereas like my social media management one was super low workload. It was like a couple of lectures online a week, an in-person one, and then the exam was a 48-hour, 10-page essay. Yeah, I would just, when you're looking at CBS, I would look at what the examination type is. If it's like a 48-hour open book exam, I think the workload is a lot less for those. I chose 2 courses which had oral exams and a report, but so it basically meant I had like double exams, because I had to hand in a report and then I had to do an oral exam 2 weeks later on a separate thing and be tested on the whole course. They were very stressful. Yeah, it's difficult to say because I got the top grade in everything, but I did work super hard and I sacrificed doing other things because I really wanted to do well. I also didn't know what the grading system was going to be like. I had no idea how the lecturers were going to grade me, what they saw as good, what I saw as good. It's very different from the UK. I just didn't know, whereas in Bath I could kind of go, oh, this is like a 68 or a 72. In terms of the course content, so interesting. The modules, so much more interesting than Bath. So I did a fashion entrepreneurship module. You got to start your own business and like do a whole project of starting your own business. You could do it on like starting a fashion brand. We did it on a fashion rental business. So interesting. Lecturers, so cool, lovely, and they had really great speakers. We had like Messy Weekend in, which is a really cool eyewear brand. Pandora came in and spoke to us. We had a perfume place come in. Yeah, really cool. Retail marketing, you got to pick a retailer and do like an analysis on the retailer. So we chose Gymshark and spoke about like the Gymshark store. And I had social media management, which was so helpful. I loved that course so much because it's just helped me so much understand more about social media. And the lecturers, I cannot fault that course. Everything was perfect. The way that like they gave us feedback, the way it was laid out online, the online videos, really great. And then we had Google, Uber, Amazon, which was a platform business exam, and you got to pick a platform business, so like Airbnb or something. I chose a fashion rental company, kind of tied them to my other module, by rotation, and I just analysed by rotation and did a growth plan for them over the next 5 years. They were all super interesting and I learned so much. Just I put so much pressure on myself, so I make them really stressful. But I hope that gives you a bit of a breakdown of what modules I was doing, if that helps you decide. I do recommend all of them. They were all really good. What made me choose Copenhagen? I just wanted to be closer to home. I didn't want to be in Australia. I didn't want to be in Canada. I wanted to be able to get home. I'm a homebody and I love being at home. I also love like the healthy lifestyle. The cafes, everything about Copenhagen is me. Like the fashion, I love. It's me in a city. I just loved living there. So yeah, I was really excited and it was definitely the right decision for me. Mostly it. There's a couple more. Why did I choose to do a semester abroad later? Just because that's how my university does it. I wouldn't have done it later because I think it's more fun to do it when you're either on a pass or fail, or earlier on where your grades don't count as much. Because on the weekends you can go, loads of my friends on the weekends would just go and travel all over Europe. I didn't really do that because I kind of needed my weekends to do a bit of work. And I will say, which no one's asked about, is like the visa situation. Really complex. It took me so long. So definitely leave enough time. I actually did mine there, which is absolutely fine, but it takes a couple months to get your yellow card, which is your health card, and your identity card. I only got it 2 weeks before I left. Yeah. Overall, CBS was so great. I'm so glad I chose that university to go to. Definitely do a semester abroad. I learned so much. It was definitely, I had some real low points, and definitely some points where I was just like, I just want to come home and I just want to cuddle my cat, but I do think a lot of that stemmed from me feeling quite stressed, and I put so much pressure on myself, which is not even needed. At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world if you don't do as well as you want, but I just put so much pressure on myself that I get very stressed. And yeah, it was so fab, and I can't believe it's over. It's been a week now, a week today since I left. It hasn't really kicked in, and I don't think I've really got the blues. But yeah, I hope that answered everyone's questions. I want to do loads more of videos if you've got any. I love chatty videos, and I'm going back to Bath in February, so I'm finishing my final year and then I graduate, which is so scary, but I'm really excited for 2024. It's gonna be fun, and I will try and get some vloggy bits out of me just doing some studying and stuff over the next coming months, and hopefully document a little bit of the rest of my uni life before it all comes to an end. But I hope you all have a lovely Christmas, and thank you for sending in all your questions. Really appreciate it, because it gave me a lot of guidance on what to speak about. But yeah, see you soon.